What if I told you that there's a secret portal to abundance that exists in a dimension just beyond your physical perception, and that spiritual masters throughout history have known exactly how to open this portal in less than 5 minutes, using nothing more than your breath and intention? There's an ancient technique that billionaires and enlightened beings have used for centuries to instantly align themselves with the flow of infinite prosperity. But this knowledge has been deliberately hidden from the masses because when too many people access true abundance consciousness simultaneously, it shifts the entire economic and spiritual paradigm of our world. But here's what's even more shocking. Every moment you spend unaware of this portal, opportunities worth millions of dollars in value, perfect relationships, and life-changing synchronicities are flowing right past you through dimensions you can't perceive. And tonight I'm going to teach you exactly how to step through this invisible doorway and claim what's rightfully yours. This video is designed to be absorbed with complete focus and attention, so please eliminate all distractions, find a quiet space, and prepare to learn something that you must implement immediately after listening, not tomorrow or next week, because the cosmic conditions that make this portal most accessible are shifting constantly, and the window of opportunity I'm about to reveal has a very specific timing that you cannot afford to miss. Let me start by sharing something that's going to completely revolutionize your understanding of how abundance actually works in the universe. Most people believe that wealth, success, and prosperity have to be created through hard work, struggle, and competition. But what if I told you that abundance already exists in infinite supply in what quantum physicists call parallel dimensions, and that the only thing preventing you from accessing it is your inability to shift your consciousness into the frequency where that abundance naturally flows? Think of it like this. Imagine you're standing in a beautiful garden, but you're wearing sunglasses so dark that everything appears barren and empty. The flowers, the fruit trees, the flowing streams of fresh water are all there, but your perception is filtered through lenses that make abundance invisible. The abundance portal I'm about to teach you to access is like removing those dark sunglasses and suddenly seeing the infinite garden of prosperity that has been surrounding you all along. But here's where this gets really fascinating, and I need you to understand this clearly because it's going to change how you approach every aspect of your life moving forward. The universe operates on multiple frequency bands simultaneously, like radio stations broadcasting different programs at the same time. Most people are unconsciously tuned to what I call the scarcity frequency, where competition, lack, and struggle seem normal and inevitable. But there's another frequency, the abundance frequency, where cooperation, flow, and miraculous synchronicities are the natural order of reality. The 5-minute technique I'm going to teach you is essentially a method for quickly and precisely tuning your consciousness from the scarcity frequency to the abundance frequency, opening up your perception to opportunities, connections, and resources that were always available but previously invisible to your awareness. If this is starting to make sense, and you can feel something shifting in your energy just from hearing these concepts, go ahead and hit that like button so I know you're resonating with this information, because your openness to these ideas is actually the first step in activating your abundance portal. Now, let me tell you about Sarah from Denver, Colorado, whose story perfectly illustrates how quickly this transformation can occur when you know exactly which buttons to press in the cosmic control panel of reality. Sarah was a talented graphic designer who had been struggling financially for years, working long hours for clients who undervalued her work, and constantly battling the feast or famine cycle that so many creative professionals experience. Sarah had tried positive thinking, vision boards, affirmations, and countless manifestation techniques, but nothing seemed to create lasting change in her financial situation. She was starting to believe that maybe abundance wasn't meant for people like her, that perhaps she was destined to struggle creatively, while others enjoyed financial freedom. The night Sarah learned the abundance portal technique, she was at her lowest point financially, facing potential eviction and considering abandoning her creative dreams to take a corporate job she despised. With nothing left to lose, Sarah decided to try this 5-minute practice with complete desperation and faith, not because she fully understood it, but because something in her soul recognized the truth in what she was hearing. Sarah performed the technique exactly as I'm going to teach you tonight, and within 72 hours, her entire reality had shifted in ways that seemed almost impossible. First, she received an unexpected call from a former client who wanted to hire her for a project worth more than she had earned in the previous 6 months. Second, she was contacted by a startup founder who had seen her work online and wanted to offer her a retainer contract for ongoing design work. Third, and most remarkably, she received a call from a gallery owner who wanted to exhibit and sell her personal artwork, something she had dreamed about but never actively pursued. But here's the part that really opened Sarah's eyes to how this portal actually works. When she met with each of these people, they all mentioned that something about her energy seemed different, more confident and magnetic than other designers they had worked with. Sarah realized that the technique hadn't just attracted opportunities to her, it had transformed her into the kind of person who naturally magnetizes abundance and success. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal next will explain the scientific and spiritual principles behind why this portal technique works so powerfully, and understanding these principles will amplify your results exponentially. The abundance portal exists at the intersection of quantum physics and ancient spiritual wisdom, where modern science finally catches up with what mystics and masters have known for millennia. Quantum physicists have discovered that reality exists in multiple probable states simultaneously, and that consciousness plays a direct role in determining which probability becomes our experienced reality. What this means, in practical terms, is that there are infinite versions of your life existing right now in parallel dimensions. The version where you're financially abundant, the version where you're in perfect health, the version where you're living your dream life surrounded by love and purpose. The abundance portal technique is a method for consciously shifting your awareness from the probable reality you're currently experiencing to the probable reality where abundance is your natural state. Think of it like changing channels on a cosmic television set. All the channels are broadcasting simultaneously, but you can only watch one at a time. Most people spend their entire lives watching the scarcity channel without realizing that the abundance channel is available at any moment, requiring only the right technique to change the frequency of their consciousness. But here's something that most manifestation teachers don't understand about this process. And this is why so many people struggle with traditional law of attraction techniques. You can't shift from the scarcity frequency to the abundance frequency through willpower or positive thinking alone, because those approaches engage your logical mind, which operates in linear time and 3-dimensional limitations. The abundance portal can only be accessed through what I call dimensional breathing, a specific technique that engages your multidimensional awareness and allows your consciousness to slip between the cracks of ordinary reality into the space where all possibilities exist simultaneously. Tell me in the comments if you've ever had moments where time seemed to slow down or stop completely, where you felt connected to something vast and infinite, where synchronicities flowed so perfectly that it felt like magic, because those experiences are glimpses of what becomes available when you learn to access the abundance portal at will. The 5-minute technique I'm about to teach you combines ancient breathwork practices with modern understanding of consciousness and quantum mechanics to create what amounts to a reliable method for interdimensional travel. You're not physically going anywhere, but you're shifting the frequency of your awareness to access resources, opportunities, and possibilities that exist in higher dimensions of reality. Now, let me share another incredible story that will show you just how quickly this portal can open when you approach the practice with complete faith and precision. Michael from Miami, Florida, was a struggling musician who had been trying to make it in the industry for over a decade without significant success. Despite his talent and dedication, Michael couldn't seem to catch the right breaks or connect with the right people to advance his career. Michael had become cynical about manifestation and spiritual practices because he had tried so many techniques without seeing real results. When he first heard about the abundance portal, his logical mind dismissed it as another New Age fantasy. But something deeper in his consciousness urged him to give it a sincere try. The night Michael performed the 5-minute technique, he experienced what he described as the most profound altered state of consciousness of his life. During the practice, he felt his awareness expand beyond his physical body and connect with what seemed like an infinite network of possibilities and potentials. He saw his music career not as something he had to struggle to create, but as something that already existed in a higher dimension, waiting for him to align with it. The next morning, Michael woke up with crystal clear inspiration for a song that felt completely different from anything he had written before. The melody and lyrics flowed through him effortlessly, as if he were channeling rather than creating. Within a week, Michael had completed what he knew was the best song of his career, and he felt guided to share it on social media rather than trying to pitch it to record labels. The song went viral within days, catching the attention of music producers, radio programmers, and industry executives who had never heard of Michael before. But more importantly, the song opened doors that Michael had been trying to break through for years. Within 3 months, he had signed a record deal, booked a national tour, and connected with collaborators who elevated his music to levels he had only dreamed of reaching. Michael later said that the abundance portal technique didn't just change his career, it changed his entire relationship with creativity and success. He stopped trying to force outcomes and started allowing inspiration and opportunities to flow through him from higher dimensional sources. But wait until you hear what I'm about to tell you about the specific timing and cosmic conditions that make this portal most accessible, because understanding these cycles will help you maximize the effectiveness of tonight's practice. The abundance portal exists in all dimensions simultaneously, but its accessibility from our 3-dimensional reality fluctuates according to cosmic cycles and energetic conditions that most people are completely unaware of. Just like ocean tides are influenced by lunar cycles, the dimensional barriers between ordinary reality and abundance consciousness thin and thicken according to celestial movements and collective consciousness patterns. Tonight specifically represents what astrologers and energy workers call a portal opening, a time when the veil between dimensions is naturally thinner and consciousness can more easily access higher frequencies of reality. These openings occur at specific intervals throughout the year, and learning to work with these cosmic rhythms multiplies the effectiveness of any spiritual or manifestation practice. Think of it like surfing. You can learn to ride waves at any time, but catching the perfect wave requires understanding ocean patterns, weather conditions, and tidal flows. Tonight's cosmic conditions represent a perfect wave for consciousness expansion and abundance activation, and riding this wave will carry you much further than trying to swim upstream during less favorable times. Let me tell you about Jennifer from Portland, Oregon, whose experience illustrates perfectly how cosmic timing can amplify the results of this practice. Jennifer had been struggling with her small business for 3 years, working incredibly hard but barely breaking, even despite offering excellent products and services. She felt like she was running on a hamster wheel, constantly busy but never getting ahead financially. When Jennifer learned about the abundance portal technique, she was initially skeptical but desperate enough to try anything. However, instead of performing the practice immediately, Jennifer decided to wait for what she thought would be a more convenient time when she wasn't feeling so stressed and overwhelmed. Weeks passed, then months, and Jennifer kept finding excuses to postpone the practice. Finally, during a portal opening similar to tonight's cosmic conditions, Jennifer felt an inexplicable urge to perform the technique, as if something beyond her logical mind was calling her to action. The results were so immediate and dramatic that Jennifer understood why the timing had been so important. Within 48 hours of accessing the abundance portal, Jennifer received 3 unexpected opportunities that transformed her business trajectory. A large corporate client who wanted to place a recurring monthly order, an invitation to speak at a trade conference that led to multiple new partnerships, and a social media feature that brought hundreds of new customers to her business. But Jennifer says the most remarkable change wasn't in her external circumstances. It was in her internal state of being. After accessing the abundance portal, she felt like she was operating from a completely different frequency, one where opportunities naturally gravitated toward her, rather than requiring desperate pursuit. If you're starting to feel excitement about the transformation that's possible for you tonight, and you're committed to following through with this practice, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because what I'm sharing here is just the beginning of a much deeper journey into conscious creation and multidimensional living. Now, let me begin preparing you for the actual technique by explaining the specific breathwork pattern that creates the dimensional shift necessary for portal access. This isn't ordinary breathing or basic meditation. This is a precise method for altering your brainwave patterns and consciousness frequency in ways that make interdimensional travel possible. The human brain operates in several different frequency ranges, from beta waves during normal waking consciousness to theta and delta waves during deep meditation and sleep. The abundance portal becomes accessible when your brain enters what neuroscientists call gamma waves, a high-frequency state that's associated with moments of insight, transcendence, and expanded awareness. Most people rarely experience gamma states naturally, which is why access to higher dimensions of consciousness and abundance remains limited for the majority of the population. But the breathing technique I'm about to teach you is specifically designed to induce gamma states reliably and safely, creating a bridge between ordinary consciousness and the multidimensional awareness where the abundance portal can be perceived and entered. Think of your breath as a key that can unlock different levels of consciousness and reality. Shallow, anxious breathing locks you into survival mode and scarcity consciousness. Deep, rhythmic breathing opens up expanded states of awareness and creativity. But the specific pattern I'm going to share with you is like a master key that opens the door to dimensions where abundance flows like rivers of light and possibility. Comment below and let me know if you've ever experienced altered states of consciousness through breathwork, meditation, or other practices, because your previous experiences with expanded awareness will actually help you access the abundance portal more quickly and deeply. The breathing pattern that opens the abundance portal is based on what ancient yogis called pranayama, but modified with modern understanding of neuroscience and consciousness research to create maximum effectiveness in minimum time. This technique bypasses the logical mind and speaks directly to the quantum field of infinite possibility that surrounds and interpenetrates your physical reality. But here's something crucial that determines whether you experience a mild shift or a complete reality transformation through this practice. The abundance portal doesn't just open because you perform the breathing technique correctly. It opens because you approach the practice with what I call dimensional faith. The willingness to trust that realities beyond your current perception not only exist, but are accessible to your consciousness. This kind of faith isn't blind belief or wishful thinking. It's a quantum leap of consciousness that acknowledges the limitations of three-dimensional perception while opening to the possibility of multidimensional experience. When you combine the precise breathing technique with dimensional faith, you create the exact conditions necessary for portal access and abundance activation. Let me share one more incredible story before we move into the practical application, because this story will show you the ultimate potential of what becomes available when you master portal access and begin living consciously in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Rebecca from Chicago, Illinois, was a corporate executive who had achieved significant financial success, but felt completely empty and disconnected from any sense of purpose or meaning. Despite her impressive salary and prestigious position, Rebecca felt like she was living someone else's life, trapped in golden handcuffs that prevented her from pursuing her real passions and gifts. Rebecca's introduction to the abundance portal technique came at a time when she was seriously considering leaving her lucrative career to pursue her dream of becoming a spiritual teacher and healer, even though this would mean a dramatic reduction in income and lifestyle. She felt torn between financial security and spiritual fulfillment, believing she had to choose one or the other. When Rebecca learned about the abundance portal and the possibility of accessing infinite abundance from higher dimensions, she realized that her either-or thinking was a limitation of scarcity consciousness. She decided to use the portal technique to explore whether it was possible to align with both financial abundance and spiritual purpose simultaneously. Rebecca's first portal experience was so profound that it completely reframed her understanding of success, abundance, and life purpose. During the 5-minute practice, she felt her consciousness expand into dimensions where she could perceive the interconnectedness of all things and understand how her spiritual gifts could serve the world while also creating unprecedented levels of abundance and prosperity. The insights Rebecca received during her portal access led her to create a gradual transition plan that honored both her financial responsibilities and her spiritual calling. She began offering coaching services to other executives seeking greater fulfillment, started teaching meditation workshops on weekends, and eventually developed online courses that combined business success principles with spiritual wisdom. Within 18 months, Rebecca had not only replaced her corporate income through her spiritual business, but had exceeded it significantly while feeling more aligned and purposeful than ever before. But more importantly, Rebecca had learned to live consciously in multiple dimensions, accessing higher guidance and infinite resources while maintaining her effectiveness in the practical world of business and finance. Rebecca says that mastering portal access taught her that abundance isn't just about money or material success. It's about living in such complete alignment with your authentic self and highest purpose that the universe naturally provides everything you need to fulfill your soul's mission while experiencing joy, prosperity, and fulfillment in all areas of life. Stay with me, because we're about to move into the practical application of everything I've been teaching you. And what I'm going to share next is the exact 5-minute technique that will open your abundance portal and begin transforming your reality from the inside out. But first, I need you to understand that this isn't just a meditation or visualization exercise. This is a precise method for consciousness expansion that requires your complete attention, intention, and respect for the forces you're about to work with. You're not just learning a technique, you're preparing to step into your role as a multidimensional being who can consciously access the infinite resources and possibilities that exist beyond ordinary perception. The abundance portal that you're about to open has been waiting for you your entire life, knowing that eventually you would develop the consciousness and readiness necessary to perceive and enter it. This moment represents a sacred threshold in your spiritual evolution, a graduation from unconscious living to conscious creation, from 3-dimensional limitations to multidimensional possibilities. In Part 2, I'm going to walk you through the complete 5-minute abundance portal technique step by step, share the advanced methods for maintaining portal access throughout your daily life, and teach you how to recognize and navigate the different dimensions of abundance that will become available to your consciousness. But before we continue, I need you to make a commitment right now that you're going to approach this practice with the reverence and dedication it deserves. Half-hearted efforts produce half-hearted results, but when you bring your full presence and trust to this technique, you open doorways to possibilities that will amaze and transform you in ways you can't currently imagine. Your abundant life isn't a distant dream or fantasy. It's a parallel reality that exists right now in dimensions just beyond your current perception. The 5-minute abundance portal technique is your key to stepping through the veil and claiming what has always been yours. All you have to do is trust the process, follow the steps with precision, and prepare to discover that you are far more powerful and connected to infinite abundance than you ever dared believe. Welcome back to this life-changing journey into the abundance portal, the hidden dimension where infinite prosperity flows like rivers of golden light, waiting for those who know how to access it consciously. If you're here for part 2, it means you're ready to move beyond theory and step directly into the practical application of multidimensional abundance activation. What I'm about to share with you is the complete 5-minute technique that spiritual masters have guarded for centuries, the exact process that will shift your consciousness from scarcity frequency to abundance frequency in a matter of minutes. But before we dive into the technique itself, I need to address something that might be happening in your energy field right now. Some of you may be feeling unusual sensations as we prepare to open this portal. Tingling in your hands, warmth in your chest, or a sense of anticipation that seems to come from beyond your logical mind. This is completely natural and actually indicates that your consciousness is already beginning to attune to higher dimensional frequencies in preparation for what's about to unfold. Your soul recognizes this ancient wisdom because at the deepest level, you've always known that you are a multidimensional being, temporarily focused in a 3-dimensional reality. The abundance portal isn't something foreign or mysterious. It's a return to your natural state of consciousness, a remembering of capabilities you possessed before you were taught to limit your perception to physical reality alone. Now, let me walk you through the complete 5-minute abundance portal technique, and I want you to pay attention to every detail because precision in this practice is what separates those who experience profound transformation from those who get only glimpses of what's possible. This isn't just a meditation or relaxation exercise. This is a specific technology for consciousness expansion that has been refined through centuries of experimentation by masters who understood the true nature of reality. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted for the next 15 minutes, not just during the 5-minute technique itself, but for the integration period that follows. Sit comfortably with your spine straight, either in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or cross-legged on the ground. Your posture should be alert but relaxed, creating a physical foundation that supports expanded consciousness while keeping you grounded in your body. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths to center yourself in the present moment, releasing any thoughts about the past or concerns about the future. With each exhale, let go of any skepticism, doubt, or need to understand this process intellectually. You're about to engage with forces that transcend logical comprehension, and your willingness to trust the process is what creates the openings necessary for portal access. Now place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your solar plexus, just above your navel. These 2 energy centers correspond to what ancient traditions called the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra, the energetic gateways through which abundance consciousness enters and circulates through your system. Your hands will serve as conductors, helping to direct the flow of multidimensional energy as it begins to activate within you. If this preparation is feeling significant and sacred to you, let me know in the comments by writing, "I am ready to open my abundance portal," because your conscious declaration of readiness actually begins the activation process even before you start the breathing technique. Begin the first phase of dimensional breathing by inhaling slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your breath filling your belly first, then your ribs, then your upper chest. This isn't ordinary breathing. This is conscious breathing that carries intention and awareness into every cell of your body. As you inhale, imagine golden light entering through the crown of your head and flowing down through your entire system, illuminating every organ, every nerve, every molecule of your being. Hold your breath for a count of 4, and during this pause, feel the golden light circulating and spinning within you like a gentle whirlpool of energy. This holding phase is crucial because it allows your consciousness to begin shifting from ordinary beta brain waves to the expanded gamma states necessary for portal access. Don't strain or force the breath retention. Simply allow your awareness to rest in the space between breaths where infinite possibility exists. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 6, making a soft ah sound as you release the breath. This vocalized exhale helps to discharge any resistance or limitation that might prevent you from accessing higher dimensions of consciousness. As you exhale, imagine any fear, doubt, or scarcity programming leaving your system like dark smoke, creating space for abundance consciousness to take root and flourish. Continue this breathing pattern for exactly 21 cycles, counting each complete inhale-hold-exhale sequence as one cycle. 21 is a sacred number in many spiritual traditions because it represents completion and transformation, the perfect mathematical frequency for shifting from one level of consciousness to another. If you lose count, simply start over rather than guessing, because the precision of this number is important for creating the exact brainwave patterns necessary for portal access. Let me tell you what happened to David from Seattle, Washington, during his first experience with this breathing technique, because his story illustrates the kind of profound shifts that can occur when you approach this practice with complete commitment and openness. David was a software engineer who prided himself on logical thinking and scientific skepticism, but he had reached a point in his career where technical skills alone weren't enough to create the breakthrough he was seeking. Despite his expertise and hard work, David felt stuck in middle management, while less qualified colleagues advanced to leadership positions and higher compensation. When David first heard about the abundance portal technique, his rational mind dismissed it as unscientific nonsense, but something deeper in his consciousness was curious enough to try it privately, away from the judgment of his logical mind and peer group. David approached the practice with what he called experimental skepticism, willing to test the hypothesis while remaining open to unexpected results. During his 21 breathing cycles, David experienced what he described as a complete dissolution of his ordinary sense of self and reality. He felt his consciousness expand beyond the boundaries of his physical body and connect with what seemed like a vast intelligence that existed beyond time and space. In this expanded state, David received crystal-clear insights about his career path and the specific actions he needed to take to align with greater opportunities and abundance. But the most remarkable part of David's experience was the download of information he received about the nature of leadership and success in the technology industry. He understood viscerally that technical competence was only one dimension of professional effectiveness, and that the most successful leaders were those who could access and integrate multiple dimensions of intelligence and awareness. The morning after his portal experience, David felt fundamentally different in his approach to work and relationships. He began speaking up in meetings with a confidence and clarity that surprised his colleagues. He started proposing innovative solutions that came from intuitive insights rather than purely analytical thinking. Within 3 months, David had been promoted to a senior leadership position with a salary increase that exceeded his previous 5 years of incremental raises combined. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal next is the most important part of the entire technique, the specific visualization and intention-setting process that actually opens the portal and activates your abundance consciousness. After completing your 21st breathing cycle, maintain the same posture with your hands on your heart and solar plexus, but allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. You're now in an expanded state of consciousness where your brain is producing the gamma waves necessary for interdimensional awareness, and your energy field is vibrating at frequencies that can access higher dimensions of reality. In this expanded state, Visualize a doorway of brilliant golden light appearing directly in front of you, about arm's length away. This isn't just imagination or fantasy. This is conscious perception of an actual dimensional gateway that exists in the quantum field surrounding your physical form. The more clearly and vividly you can perceive this doorway, the more accessible it becomes to your consciousness. The doorway itself is approximately 7 feet tall and 3 feet wide, composed entirely of swirling golden light that seems alive and intelligent. As you focus your attention on this portal, you may notice that it pulses gently, as if breathing, and that looking at it fills you with a sense of infinite possibility and unconditional love. This is the abundance portal, the gateway through which infinite prosperity, perfect opportunities, and miraculous synchronicities flow into physical reality. But here's the crucial part that determines whether you simply observe the portal or actually step through it and activate its transformative power in your life. You must now make a conscious choice to release all attachment to your current limitations and step forward into the unknown possibilities that exist beyond the portal. This requires what I call dimensional courage, the willingness to let go of familiar limitations in order to embrace unfamiliar abundance. Visualize yourself standing up from your seated position, though your physical body remains still, and walking confidently toward the golden doorway. As you approach the portal, you may feel resistance from your logical mind or fear from your survival instincts, but breathe through these sensations and continue forward with trust and determination. Tell me in the comments what you're feeling as you visualize approaching this portal, because sharing your experience helps activate the collective energy that supports everyone's transformation and portal access. Step through the golden doorway with complete faith, and as you cross the threshold, feel your consciousness expanding into a dimension where abundance is the natural order of reality. In this dimension, there is no scarcity, no competition, no struggle for resources. Instead, there is an infinite ocean of prosperity, creativity, love, and opportunity flowing in all directions, available to anyone who can perceive and receive it. Allow yourself to fully immerse in this abundance dimension, feeling the energy of infinite possibility flowing through every cell of your being. Notice how different your energy feels in this space, how naturally confident and magnetized you become when you're aligned with the frequency of unlimited abundance. This is your true nature, your authentic state of being, when you're not limited by three-dimensional conditioning and scarcity programming. In this expanded state, begin to receive the abundance that is your birthright by simply opening your arms wide and declaring silently or aloud, "I am open to receive all the abundance that is mine by divine right. I am worthy of infinite prosperity, perfect opportunities, and miraculous manifestations. I align my consciousness with the frequency of unlimited abundance now and always." As you make this declaration, feel streams of golden energy flowing into your energy field, carrying with them the exact opportunities, resources, and connections you need for your highest good and greatest joy. Don't try to control or direct this flow with your logical mind. Simply allow it to fill you completely, trusting that your higher self knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Remain in this receiving state for approximately 60 seconds, allowing the abundance frequency to saturate your consciousness and reprogram your energetic signature at the quantum level. This is the most important minute of the entire technique, because it's when the actual transformation occurs, when your consciousness shifts from scarcity programming to abundance programming at the deepest subconscious levels. But wait until you hear what I'm about to tell you about the integration process that determines whether this portal experience becomes a temporary high or a permanent transformation that reshapes your entire life experience. After your minute of receiving abundance consciousness, it's time to consciously return through the portal while maintaining your connection to the abundance dimension. This return process is crucial because it anchors the expanded consciousness you've accessed into your three-dimensional reality, making it available for practical application in your daily life. Visualize yourself walking back through the golden doorway, but notice that you're carrying the abundance frequency with you, like a radiant light that illuminates everything you touch. As you step back into ordinary consciousness, the portal doesn't disappear. It simply becomes less visible, while remaining eternally accessible to your awareness whenever you choose to focus on it. Return your attention fully to your physical body and your breathing, feeling yourself grounded and present, while maintaining a connection to the abundance dimension you've just accessed. Slowly open your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, allowing yourself to integrate this expanded consciousness into your normal waking awareness. This integration phase is where many people either anchor their transformation or lose the connection they've just established. The key is to maintain the feeling of abundance consciousness as you transition back to ordinary activities, carrying the energy and insights you've received into your practical daily experience. Let me share the story of Monica from Phoenix, Arizona, whose experience illustrates perfectly how to maintain portal connection and create lasting transformation through proper integration practices. Monica was a single mother, working 2 part-time jobs to support herself and her daughter, constantly stressed about money and feeling trapped in a cycle of financial struggle that seemed impossible to break. When Monica first accessed the abundance portal, she experienced such profound relief and expansion that she was afraid to return to ordinary consciousness, worried that the feelings of peace and possibility would disappear. But Monica understood the importance of integration, so she committed to carrying the abundance frequency into her daily activities rather than treating the portal experience as an escape from reality. Throughout the day following her portal access, Monica consciously maintained the feeling of being supported by infinite abundance, making decisions from confidence rather than fear, and remaining open to unexpected opportunities and synchronicities. The results began manifesting within hours. Monica received a call from a former colleague who wanted to recommend her for a full-time position that paid more than her 2 part-time jobs combined. She found a $20 bill on the sidewalk during her lunch break. Her daughter's teacher mentioned a scholarship opportunity that Monica had never heard of before. Each of these might seem like small coincidences, but together they represented a clear shift in her energetic frequency and her ability to attract positive experiences. Over the following weeks, Monica continued to access the abundance portal regularly while maintaining her expanded consciousness throughout her daily activities. Within 3 months, she had not only secured the full-time position, but had also started a small side business that aligned with her creative passions and generated additional income that exceeded her previous part-time wages. But Monica says the most valuable transformation wasn't in her external circumstances. It was in her internal state of being. She stopped feeling like a victim of her circumstances and started experiencing herself as a conscious creator who could influence her reality through her consciousness and energy. This shift in identity became the foundation for continued abundance and success in all areas of her life. If you're feeling inspired by these stories and you're ready to commit to regular portal practice and conscious integration, go ahead and subscribe to this channel because I'll be sharing advanced portal techniques and integration methods in future videos that will help you master multidimensional living. Now let me teach you the 3 most important practices for maintaining your abundance portal connection and ensuring that tonight's experience becomes the beginning of lasting transformation rather than a temporary spiritual high. The first practice is what I call portal anchoring, a daily technique for strengthening your connection to the abundance dimension and making portal access more natural and effortless over time. Every morning upon waking, before you engage with the external world, spend 60 seconds visualizing the golden doorway and feeling your connection to the abundance frequency. This morning practice sets your energetic tone for the entire day and keeps you aligned with prosperity consciousness from the moment you wake up. You don't need to perform the complete 5-minute breathing technique every morning. Simply close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and visualize the portal while feeling gratitude for the abundance that's flowing into your life. This brief practice maintains your energetic alignment and keeps the portal accessible throughout your daily activities. The second practice involves what I call abundance recognition, the conscious acknowledgement of abundance manifestations as they occur in your life. After accessing the portal, you'll begin attracting opportunities, synchronicities, and resources more frequently. But many people miss these manifestations because they're too small or subtle to register in ordinary awareness. Train yourself to notice and celebrate every sign of abundance, from finding a parking space exactly where you need it to receiving unexpected compliments, discounts, or opportunities. Each acknowledgement strengthens your abundance frequency and signals to the universe that you're ready to receive even greater manifestations. The third practice is dimensional service, using your portal access and abundance consciousness to serve others and contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. As you become more aligned with abundance, you'll naturally want to share this gift with others, not through preaching or persuasion, but through embodying the frequency of prosperity and generosity that inspires others to seek their own transformation. Comment below and let me know which of these 3 practices resonates most strongly with you, because your intuitive response will guide you toward the integration methods that will be most effective for your unique consciousness and life circumstances. But here's something crucial that determines whether your abundance portal practice creates lasting transformation or gradually fades back to old patterns. The portal isn't just a technique you perform. It's a way of being that must be cultivated and maintained through conscious choice and consistent practice. Every day presents you with countless opportunities to choose abundance consciousness over scarcity consciousness, to respond to challenges from expanded awareness rather than limited perception, to make decisions that honor your connection to infinite possibility rather than your fears about limitation. The portal technique gives you access to abundance frequency, but maintaining that frequency requires ongoing commitment to conscious living and spiritual growth. This is why some people experience dramatic results from a single portal session, while others need weeks or months of consistent practice to create lasting change. The difference isn't in the technique itself, but in the practitioner's willingness to embody abundance consciousness as a way of life, rather than treating it as a temporary spiritual experience. Let me share one final story that illustrates the ultimate potential of portal mastery when combined with unwavering commitment to conscious evolution and service to others. Thomas from Boston, Massachusetts, was a financial advisor who had achieved considerable success in traditional terms, but felt increasingly empty and disconnected from his work's deeper meaning and purpose. Despite his professional accomplishments, Thomas felt like he was helping wealthy clients become wealthier while contributing nothing to the greater good of humanity. When Thomas discovered the abundance portal technique, he approached it not just as a method for personal transformation, but as a tool for discovering how he could serve others while aligning with his own abundance and fulfillment. Thomas committed to daily portal practice and conscious integration while remaining open to however his life might need to change to align with his highest purpose. Within 6 months of beginning his portal practice, Thomas had completely transformed his financial advisory business into a mission-driven practice focused on helping people align their money with their values and create abundance through conscious investing and ethical business practices. He developed workshops and courses that taught people how to create wealth while contributing to positive social and environmental change. But the most remarkable aspect of Thomas's transformation was how his portal practice evolved into a natural ability to help others access their own abundance consciousness. Thomas discovered that his regular portal practice had developed his intuitive abilities and his capacity to sense and influence other people's energy fields in positive ways. Thomas began offering what he called abundance activation sessions, working with clients not just on their financial strategies but on their consciousness and energetic alignment with prosperity. His unique combination of practical financial expertise and multidimensional awareness attracted clients from around the world who wanted to create wealth in alignment with their spiritual values and life purpose. 3 years after his first portal experience, Thomas had not only tripled his income, but had also created a business model that contributed significantly to causes he cared about, while helping hundreds of people transform their relationship with money and abundance. Thomas says that mastering portal access taught him that true abundance isn't just about personal prosperity. It's about becoming a conduit through which infinite abundance can flow to serve the highest good of all beings. As we approach the end of this transformative training, I want you to take a moment to feel into the magnitude of what you've just learned and experienced. You now have access to a technology of consciousness that can literally transport you into dimensions of reality where abundance is as natural as breathing, where opportunities flow like rivers of light, where your deepest dreams and highest aspirations are not distant goals, but present possibilities waiting to be claimed. But remember that with great power comes great responsibility. The abundance portal isn't just a tool for personal gain. It's a gateway to multidimensional service and conscious contribution to the evolution of human consciousness. As you begin manifesting greater abundance in your own life, you'll naturally be called to use that abundance in service of others and in alignment with the greater good. The universe doesn't give us access to infinite resources so we can hoard them for ourselves. It opens these portals because expanded consciousness and abundant resources in the hands of awakened beings accelerates the healing and transformation of our entire planet. Your abundance is not separate from the abundance of all beings. It's part of a vast web of interconnected prosperity that lifts everyone when even one person learns to access and embody it consciously. Before you begin integrating tonight's portal experience into your daily life, I want you to make a sacred commitment to using your expanding abundance in service of love, truth, and the highest good of all beings. This commitment isn't just a moral choice. It's a practical necessity for maintaining long-term portal access and ensuring that your abundance grows rather than stagnating or reversing. In the comments below, write, "I commit to conscious abundance," and add one specific way you will use your increasing prosperity to serve others or contribute to positive change in the world. This public declaration creates accountability and activates the support of the universe and this entire community of conscious creators. Your transformation begins now, not tomorrow or when you feel more ready, but in this moment, as you choose to embody abundance consciousness in every thought, word, and action. The portal you've accessed tonight isn't just a doorway to personal prosperity. It's an entrance to a way of being that can transform not only your life, but the lives of everyone you touch with your expanded awareness and generous heart. Sweet dreams, and welcome to your abundant life. I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore advanced portal techniques and multidimensional manifestation practices that will help you master conscious creation at levels you've never imagined possible. Until then, remember, you are an infinite being temporarily focused in physical reality. Your abundance is unlimited, and your time for full awakening and service is now. May your portal remain eternally open. May your abundance serve the highest good, and may your consciousness continue expanding into the infinite dimensions of love, prosperity, and divine purpose that are your true inheritance. The universe has been waiting for you to remember your power, and now that you have, there are no limits to what you can create, contribute, and become.